Elizabeth, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. First off, congratulations on the extension. Can you just kind of walk us through what the conversations were like and what kind of was the selling factor for you in coming back for next year?
Yeah, I think my statement was like pretty accurate because feeling valued was a big part of it, coming off of an injury, heading into year 11. Um it's not easy to continue to play. And I think Chicago has taken care of me in every way, and I've tried to give my all to them. And so I think that combination was a big factor in heading into next season.
Definitely. For you, just kind of following up on that, you mentioned how hard it is to kind of just come back from an injury at this state in your career. What was this season like for you? And at what point did you kind of know that you wanted to commit to being that bench role model, bench leader who was, on the road with the team in practice, just kind of being that supportive leader, even though you weren't necessarily out there on the court?
Yeah, part of my love of the game of basketball is in the love of being a part of a team. And so even, despite an injury, I still want to be part of the team. And I know that as a vet on a pretty young team, I have some wisdom and knowledge to give, and just sometimes even just like having a smile on your face can mean a lot in situations. So I just tried to be myself and bring that, and the positive energy was good for me as much as it was good for the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Elizabeth.
We'll go Jordan, then Mike.
Hey Elizabeth, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm all right. So first I just want to ask, how's the recovery been going as far as, getting back to yourself?
It's going really well. I'm on schedule, getting stronger. I feel really good, to be honest. So it's going well.
And then my last question. So obviously, of course, with your season being cut short, we saw Camilla insert into that starting center role. So I guess was there just any advice you gave for or Angel Reese as well as becoming a better player and getting equated into the WNBA?
Oh yeah, it's always tough being a rookie, let alone being a rookie in this type of season with a bunch of eyes on us. So I think they've done a great job of handling the pressure, and I think a lot of the younger players have already dealt with the experience of living a lot of their lives online. And I think they've handled it really well. And I think on the court, when you play this many games, like, you continue to get better. I think the challenge moving forward is just for them to continue to work on their games and never be satisfied, so that they can have a lot of longevity in their careers.
Thank you.
We'll go Mike, then Alyssa.
Hey, it's great to see you. I only had one question for you, basically just talking about being a veteran, obviously, on this team and being a part of playoff basketball in years past. For you, in Teaspoon's first year being a head coach, the cultures that she's brought into the organization, and obviously what you've seen thus far from not only Angel and Camilla, but the team as a whole, how close would you say that this team is to really being a playoff contender again?
I think we should have been in the playoffs this year. I think, post break, we had a couple games that didn't swing our way. And in this league, that can make or break your season. So I don't think that we're that far off. I think it's just a matter of a couple adjustments and a little more discipline, and at the end of the day, experience is valuable too. And so them having a season under their belt, I think, will help us moving forward.
Thanks, E.
Alyssa, then Carly.
Hey, Elizabeth. Good to see you.
Uh-oh. You froze for a little bit. You might have to start over.
Alyssa, you there?
Um,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, okay. Elizabeth, this is kind of a broad question, and you can take it any way that you want, but just like having watched most of
Having watched most of what? Sorry, I cut off again.
okay, I'm gonna try to move. I'm gonna walk and talk and see if it helps. But what stuck out to you about the way that the team played this season?
Oh, I think we played with a lot of grit, a lot of energy. I think despite injuries, which are an unfortunate part of sports, I think we were determined to play the game the right way. And those are things that you can take moving forward into the next season. And, you can fix, the X's and O's, whatever. But coming from a place where you play hard every single night, you can't take that away. So, yeah.
And then for you, what are your off-season plans and priorities?
Yeah, just being the healthiest that I've ever been. I know going through a lot of this rehab, it can actually be a real benefit in taking care of your body in a new way because you're not worried about just playing a bajillion games. So I'm actually really excited, like, to kind of transform myself physically, and have a chance to actually be in the gym and train and get back to Chicago. I mean, I'll be in DC and then kind of back and forth here. So, but yeah, I'm just really excited to be at my best physically.
Nice. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Carly, then Akeem.
Hey Elizabeth, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I want to clarify. So you will not be going overseas or back to Turkey this off season?
I mean, based on my timeline, if I were to go, it would have to be, after New Year's. So like I'm not under any contract right now.
Gotcha. When you look back on this season, with this just being a brand new team, literally from top down, GM all the way to that final player on the bench, how would you evaluate Spoon's first year as a WNBA head coach?
I think it was good. I mean, like you said, when we had changes from top to bottom, I think, especially in this league, it's really hard to be a head coach. And so I think that she's handled it in the best ways. I think she's also had to handle having players that have a huge media draw and huge fan draw. And there's something to that as well. And so I think she's handled that really well. But yeah, I mean, I think for having a really young team and for being a first year head coach, like she was solid.
And then when you look forward to next season, you are one of just a few of you guys returning on contract next year. When you look at what you want to change differently for 2025, it seems like just the theme from everybody else today has been consistency, trying to find consistency. How do you bring consistency to the 2025 team through either on-court experience, veteran leadership? How do you bring consistency to what could end up being another brand new team next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it starts with, practice. It starts with the little things, with staying disciplined, with how you approach every single day. And, like you said, it probably will look different just contractually, just the way
Right.
the contracts are set up. And so that does create an opportunity to establish really good habits. And so, I think everyone that signs a contract here will take advantage of that and foster, a culture where we, are working our way to a championship.
And then last one for me, if you can't answer this, totally understandable, but with you being part of the WNBA PA and with the upcoming CBA, what are some things that you really want to see out of this new CBA that can either help better protect players, give players something different than what they've experienced? What's like one thing that you really want to see out of this new CBA?
I mean, I can't really share like the specific stuff.
Right, yeah, but
I
like
think,
whatever you can share.
but I think in general, like just the enhancement of the player experience and, compensation are probably the top things that people think about, just in general. And so, that's really probably what the conversations are going to look like moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much and good luck in your rehab as well this offseason.
Thank you.
Akeem.
Akeem with Beyond the W, how's it been going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Trying to be good as well. If I remember correctly, you had a chance to play alongside Layshia Clarendon when you and them were in Atlanta. They just announced today that they're retiring from the WNBA. If you could share some of your memories of playing alongside Layshia.
Yeah, I actually just commented on Lay's post, thinking of memories. So, and I also mentioned this in the post, but we both got traded to Atlanta around the same time. They were in Indy, and it was just a new, fresh start for the both of us. And we got really close and had some of our best basketball seasons. And part of that was feeling like we had a chip on our shoulder, something to prove. And yeah, that experience was incredible, being all stars together, being in the bubble, and Leja's impact on our social justice efforts were pretty much unmatched, and so it will definitely be missed. And I think Leja did things the right way, and so I'm just excited for them in retirement.
Thank you. We'll end with Julia.
Elizabeth, Rachel mentioned that some of y'all that are staying in Chicago or just in the States in general are planning on doing some off-season workouts. Just kind of what have those early conversations been like, and why do you feel like that is important for maybe setting the tone next season?
Yeah, I think it's like what you said, it sets a tone, just allows us to get a feel for playing with each other, for things that we look for, what we like to see, where we want the ball. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just anytime you can build chemistry, it matters. And I think as the league is shifting, and I think as you see, people going overseas less, you'll see things like this. I mean, it's very common in the NBA for people to do this. And so as we're kind of transforming our league, and people are staying stateside, it creates a lot of advantages. And I think if you look at past championship teams, a lot of those players have the opportunity to work out with each other in the off season. And so, we want to do the same things. Uh-oh, she froze.
Okay. Thank you. Are we good? Okay.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Thank
Thank you.
Elizabeth.
Thanks.
Sorry about that. Thanks, E.
You're good. Thank you.